In 1912, Penticton's population numbered in the hundreds, so Adventist church elder J.L. Wilson pitched his tent and began Penticton's first church school. As more were baptized into the faith, the area's first Adventist church was built and was described as having the best appearance of any church in the conference.
I can remember that first little church. It was a brick building, and it was 2 stories, top and bottom, but there was no stairwell to go down from the top floor to the bottom floor. We had to go outside all the way around. The heating was pot-belly stoves upstairs. Downstairs is heated with wood. The worst part of it was we had 2 outhouses in the back.
Over the century, the building and address has changed a couple times, but the church is more than bricks and mortar.
God didn't create the church so we could have a nice club.
Dan Jackson pastored here in the 70s and 80s and currently serves as the president of the North American Division of the Seventh-day Adventist Churches. He joined hundreds who returned to Penticton for the Centenary and says for the church to be relevant, it must be part of the local community.
The church is to be God's agent of grace in a community. So whether it's a little girl needs a pair of shoes, or a young couple needs counseling, or somebody is in the hospital ill, or someone has died and the family needs assistance, whether that be a spiritual need, a social need, an intellectual need, the church is to be the agent of God's compassion and grace.
I grew up in the church. The church was my social life, my spiritual life, my friends. I'm excited for the church because the church has a mission to spread the gospel, to let people know that He's coming back soon, the Lord's coming back soon.
For a century, members of the Penticton Adventist Church have traveled the globe helping others.
We have served in Argentina and the Philippines, and then we were in a program called Gospel Outreach for 9 years, and we're going to Bangladesh and Northeast India. And my husband and I have gone to 43 countries.
Serving in world missions is a way of life for many, like Colin Gibson, whose grandparents were among the first members of this church.
My father and my uncle and my aunt were, of course, raised in the mission field, so my father was able to tell me about mission life, and that had a very profound influence on my life.
Closer to home, the welfare of Penticton residents has been of equal importance. Whether it's running the soup kitchen or leading a youth group, the focus is building up people through prayer and meeting their practical needs.
There's many people over this 100 years of this church who have loved God, have served God. They're not part of this celebration, but they have been faithful to God. In the Adventist church, we have many, many people who have given their hearts, their lives, and their sacrifice to God. And, we're just building upon their legacy, and we're here today because there's been faithful people.